Coming up on Crossfire, the spring game is officially upon us. The green jacket went straight to the water, and we say goodbye to the Mamba up next. I guess we'll get into it, guys. Always enthusiastic, unbelievable, hard-nosed.
Roll up the sleeves for this one.
This Dallas team was very overrated from the start, like they always are every year.
The talent there, Kevin Mack, Eric Davis, and Cohen Roach, are maybe three of the most talented guys in the team.
Oh, that's an ugly shirt.
Always a pleasure having you on, guys.
Time to freak out, Reese.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome into the only live sports show right here on the 40 Acres. It's College Crossfire. I'm your host, Reese Miller. Happy to have you with us on another Wednesday night, show 10 of the semester. Getting into the thick of it, guys. Let's go ahead and meet the outstanding panel. Mark Skol, somehow you keep finding your way to get back on the show. I know you're doing great, so I won't even bother to ask Jonathan Polasek. I will ask you how you're doing, and I'm sure it's great.
I'm doing well. I'm doing a lot better than I was a couple of weeks ago. How are you doing, Reese?
Excellent. Doing great, man. See, the only one who asks. Always starting off with a great bonus point. Yeah, there's a reason. I think everybody who watches TSTV knows why. Jordan Strickland, welcome to the show. Welcome to TSTV, man. First time on air. Good to have you.
Thank you. Just glad to be here. Excited. Thank you.
Excellent. Awesome. We're excited, too. Let's go ahead and get into it, guys. The spring football game is finally here. Lots of talk going into the fans' first chance. It's a new-paced offense. Sterling Gilbert, the new offensive coordinator from Tulsa. It's a QB battle upon us. New freshman, top 10 class, Charlie Strong's third official spring game, guys. But what are you most looking forward to, and what should fans watch out for this weekend coming into the spring game? Mark?
For me, what I'm looking at is the new enrollees. You got to look at Shane Buechele. He's could be the starting quarterback next year. Then Colin Johnson, and we've seen all these videos. I've been to a practice a couple times. He's a straight-up monster, probably a future first-round pick. Honestly, he's really good. But I want to see what Shackelford and DeMarco Boyd have to offer, because I mean they're really guys we just haven't seen before, and everyone else on the team we've seen. We know what they can do. Those are four guys who are unproven, and this is their time to shine. So those are the four guys I'm watching on Saturday.
And Boyd looks like a beast first day on campus, early enrollee. Jonathan, what do you think? What are you looking out for?
I'm also interested in the four early enrollees, especially Colin Johnson. I mean, he is an absolute beast. Colin Johnson, Texas has been looking for a receiver that fits his mold ever since Lima Sweet and Roy Williams. They just haven't had that. And now with John Burt and Colin Johnson, you have the potential to blow the top off of opposing defenses. And that's something that Texas hasn't seen in a long time.
Yeah, even when Texas was good in the Cole McCoy era, it was slot receivers, Jordan Shipley, Quan Cosby, not really a guy that could go up and get maybe a high-pointed jump ball. And
right.
I think it's every day on Twitter there's a picture of him going up and making some crazy catch. Jordan, what do you think?
I'm actually looking for the emergence of a X factor, a consistent star for the Texas offense. I understand that there are a few freshmen on campus, and I'm excited to see what they have. But at the same time, we have Armani Foreman entering his junior year, Chris Warren, entering his sophomore year, D. Foreman entering his junior year. One of these guys has to emerge. We need a star on this team. We need a star on the offense that we can consistently go to for production. And I'm excited to see which one will emerge on Saturday.
You think any picks, predictions? Maybe one will emerge?
I'd say D. Foreman had the most consistent of any, I'd say, throughout the 2016 or 2015 season, I mean. So I'd imagine he would get more reps at the running back position and essentially make more plays.
Great. Mark, I think you're going to start us off here just because Zach Shackelford has a chance to really make an impact on one of Texas's weakest position groups, the offensive line, the last couple of seasons. DeMarco Boyd coming in there as well, so you're going to start us off here. Batting leadoff, something that didn't work out in intramural softball, but working out today. While the spring game is just an exhibition, it's still fun to see big plays, game dominated by either side. It's an interesting balance in the spring game because squads are split. So would you rather have the offense manhandle the defense overall, or the defense look a lot better than the offense? Last year, Texas wasn't really great on either side of the football. So this year, you have a new offense, but also an improved defense. Which one, if you had to choose, would you rather see just go out and knock the other round? Jonathan?
Total, absolute offensive dominance. I am tired of seeing these pathetic, weak offenses that Texas has put out for the past 6 years, ever since the 2009 season when Texas went to the BCS championship. We know the Texas defense is going to be good to relatively good, maybe even great. But I want to see a Texas offense that can just run up and down the field on a good defense, which is, like I said, something we just aren't used to anymore.
Right. It would certainly be a shock, I think, come Saturday. Jordan, what do you think?
I'd actually like to see a strong performance from the defense. Texas was known, at least in the early 2000s, for their strong defense. You look at, they were called DBU. They had Michael Huff, Michael Griffin, Aaron Ross, guys like that. We need to see a stronger Texas defense, I believe. You see TCU went for, I believe, 38 on them. Texas Tech had their way with them. Notre Dame had their way with them. Another tough schedule this year. We need a strong defense at Texas.
Yeah, I think you said it was an absolute atrocious year from the Texas defense, and Charlie Strong and Vance Bedford being defensive coaches, something that you would expect to improve a little bit.
Right.
Okay, Mark, we've got one on either side. What do you say?
I'm going offense just because Sterling Gilbert is the new coach, and I want to see what his offense has in store. It's supposed to be fast-paced, up-tempo. So I really want to just see what his offense has in store. I want to see Shane Buechele, Tyrone Swoops, who wins that competition. I just want to see the offense do really well. Obviously, you want to see the defense do well also, but I just want to see what Sterling Gilbert's offense has to offer. That's my whole thing. I just want to see his offense go to work.
I think I want to see that. I think, for me personally, I don't think the offense is very good, so I would rather know the defense is playing really well and know there's something good about this team.
Yes.
So, Jordan, you're getting the point. Moving on. We all know that Coach Augie Garrido's season this year, the baseball team, 14-19, hasn't been exactly good. Unfortunately, loss of talent has suffered. Many have cited the fact that Garrido hasn't had good professional talent since their last College World Series title 11 years ago, 2005. They've been to 2 College World Series since then. But, guys, do you think Garrido is really the one to blame here for the underachieving pro prospects, or there just hasn't been enough talent? Is that on the talent or Garrido? You look at the MLB, you've got Taylor Youngman for the Brewers, you've got Cameron Rupp. Houston Street has been a staple in the MLB, but there's not a whole lot of talent out there. Is that on Garrido a little bit? Jordan, what do you think?
That's a tough thing to do, to place it on a head coach, because Garrido is actually brought in here to win, and if you look at it, he is the most winningest coach in college baseball history. So essentially, he did his job. It's not his job to produce MLB players. That's actually on the player, whether they want to elevate their game or not. But it is a problem. You see, there were no position picks since 2011 or at least top 200 since 2011 for Texas. And you do want to see production at the next level from Texas. But it's hard to pin it on the coach.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Mark Payton, I think, the only one that really stands out. He's made it to AA in the Yankees organization, but no other position player has really done anything of no. Drew Stubbs, still kind of hanging around. Mark, what do you think?
You can't blame it on Garrido. He's there. He was hired to bring championships to Texas, win games for Texas. He wasn't hired to make players into MLB players. He was hired to win games here at Texas, and that's what he's done. So he's done a great job of winning. He's been the 15 College World Series, most wins of all time of any Texas or any college baseball coach ever. So it's all on him to win games here at Texas, not develop players into pros, but develop them into good college players.
Yeah, just hasn't done a whole lot of winning in the last couple of seasons, but certainly track record speaks for itself. Jonathan, what do you think here? It's kind of interesting when you look at Texas, great recruiting classes, but nobody that really looks like they have major league tools. So what do you think?
Well, Reese, the real question is, how do you win? You got to have good players. And the thing with Texas is, just lately, they haven't had very good players to go and win. And that's evidenced by the fact that Texas hasn't really done anything. They haven't won any College World Series titles. They've been to Omaha recently, but I think that was kind of a blip in the last few years. The talent is just no longer there. I mean, yes, he's had good recruiting classes, but they haven't panned out. That's the thing. So the talent, honestly, that pool of talent that Garrido used to be bringing in year in and year out is just no longer there.
The thing is now, though, is that most of these young, talented baseball players are just skipping college and going right to the MLB draft. So it's kind of hard to get those guys who are really good when all the other guys like Bryce Harper and Mike Trout don't even go to college.
That's what's interesting about college baseball is you don't necessarily want to put all your chips for one guy that may be the best player in the nation, but is probably not going to even sign with you. But I think recently you look at guys like Michael Cantu, Brett Boswell, Andy McGuire, who have chosen to come to Texas and forego the MLB draft, and they just haven't been very good. So maybe it's just a fact of it not really working out, but either way, struggled the last couple of years.
I mean, they're good high school prospects, but once they come here, the game's totally different.
Yeah.
And so they're just, that talent that's there in high school, it doesn't necessarily translate well to the college game.
Cool. Jonathan, you're taking us a point to break. That's it for round one. Up next, the Jordan Spieth collapse and a night to remember in the NBA. Don't go anywhere. Thanks for sticking with us here on College Crossfire. Let's go ahead and take a look at our scoreboard. We've got ones across the board, tied up heading into round 2. Mark Skol, Jonathan Polasek, and Jordan Strickland here with us, guys. Transitioning into another Jordan that's not having such a good week this week as you yourself. Jordan Spieth probably had the worst weekend out of any of us. He blew a 5-stroke lead in the Masters on the final round, ultimately ceding the green jacket to Danny Newsom, Theon Greyjoy, Danny Willett. Will this affect him moving forward, guys? Just an absolute collapse on hole number 12, or is he such a phenom that this may not be anything to worry about? Mark, what do you think?
If it's going to affect him, it's going to affect him in a positive way. The guy's only 22 years old. He's already won a Masters. He had a chance to win a back-to-back Masters, joining a club of only 3 people. He's that good. It's not going to affect him in any way. He's so good. He's so humble too. It's not going to affect him. I don't think. I think he's just too talented for it to affect him at all.
Yeah, the interesting thing was it was almost boring a little bit. I think around hole 10, 11, he had a 5-shot lead, was kind of dominating, and I think most people would say, or he would say, that he wasn't playing necessarily well. Just had a good day Thursday and was still 5 shots out of the field. Jonathan?
Well, Reese, he still had a fairly good weekend. He made a bunch of money, so it's still a good weekend at my book.
Better weekend than us.
This is something that will affect him positively, because what he needs is, like Mark said, he's 22, he's young. This is adversity, and now whether or not he can overcome this adversity, which I honestly believe that he will, this will be good for him in the long run in his throughout his career. That just shows him not everything's going to go your way. You may be so good, but there are going to be little breaks along the way, and how you respond, which will be positive, and I think he's going to come out with a vengeance in his next tournaments. How you respond shows how great of a not only golfer but athlete and person that you are.
Yeah, hasn't been a great year for Spieth. Missed a couple of cuts, didn't do as well as he would like in Dell match play, but 3 Masters appearances last 3 years, second, first, and second. Not bad. Jordan, what do you think?
Reese, he's going to be back to the Masters, and that's the good thing for Spieth. If anything, this is motivation for him. You look at what happened in the U.S. Open when he was having not so great of a tournament. The spectators applied a lot of pressure on him, and it actually turned him into a diamond. And that's where he began to emerge. He has 2 majors under his belt. When you look at Rory McIlroy, he actually had a terrible Masters too. And you look at how exactly. And you look at how he finished out that season, almost unbelievable. Spieth is doing something that not a lot can do, to be able to tie with Tiger. 3 more Masters and he'll be in the category with Tiger and Arnold Palmer. 5 more, he'll be with Nicholson. He's in a great position. It's not the end of his career. He's young. He has time. He'll be fine.
I think I'm with you guys. It's hard to disagree when a phenom at his age, Rory McIlroy, as you mentioned, 2011, blew the Masters, then came back a couple weeks later, won the U.S. Open. Certainly wouldn't be surprised if Spieth did the same, guys. To a bit more of an interesting note, maybe a little bit somber for some guys, the NBA season is just about over. The playoffs are just around the corner, but 2 special nights are happening in one. The Golden State Warriors are trying to make history as they go for their NBA record 73rd win tonight against the reeling Memphis Grizzlies, who have lost 9 out of the last 10 games, while Kobe Bryant, the Mamba himself, is officially hanging up and tying the laces on those Kobe Bryant sneakers. Guys, if you aren't currently sitting here on Crossfire, which I know you all would rather be doing than watching basketball, but if you had to choose one, would you rather watch history be made, possibly the Golden State Warriors, best record in NBA history, beating out Mark Skol, your Bulls, or watching the Mambas' final game and the Lakers go for their 17th win of the year? Jonathan.
Well, Reese, there's only one Mamba, and it's not like we haven't seen a historic team before, 95, 96 Bulls, but there's only one Kobe Bryant, and to see his last game, yes, he's not as good as he used to be, but this is the end of an era, an end of a dynasty. You only get one chance to see that. There may come another time when you have another team that's as historically great as the Golden State Warriors are this year, and because it's been 20 years in between the Bulls and the Warriors, and so who knows? In 20 years, there may be another team that's just as good, and there's always going to be teams that even get close to this all-time wins record. So we're going to see that again and again. You're never going to see another Kobe Bryant, and the Warriors might lose too. So. I'm not saying they will. In fact, I think they're going to win, but they might lose.
Very true. Jordan, what do you think?
I couldn't agree more. Kobe Bryant is our generation's Michael Jordan. Let's be honest about it. There will never be another Black Mamba. What he does for the game, 81 points, finals MVPs, and an unbelievable 2010 campaign. Kobe Bryant is a markstone for the NBA. Losing him will be definitely be tough. But on the flip side, the Warriors do have a chance to make history. Excuse me. They have a chance to make history, but I wouldn't choose it over watching Kobe Bryant. Like I said, the Black Mamba, the legend, second greatest, I'd say, behind Michael Jordan. Why would he miss this for anything?
Wow, second greatest all time.
Have to say it.
Wow, I think that's a lot higher than some people would have him, but wow, second greatest all time. Huh?
Debatable, but yes.
Okay, great. Mark, what do you think?
Records were meant to be broken, and there will always be broken. So, Kobe, there's only one Kobe Bryant, like Jonathan said. You got to watch Kobe in his last game. Honestly, I hope he takes a shot every single time he gets the ball because I want to see him.
Scores 40.
Yeah, I just want to see him do well.
shots.
But yeah, records were meant to be broken. Warriors will probably win. They'll get 73. I mean, but the record doesn't mean anything for the Warriors unless if they win the championship.
Right.
Like if you think about the Patriots, the 2007 Patriots, yeah, they went 16-0 in the regular season, but they lose in the Super Bowl. I mean, it's the forgotten season.
Right.
So it's all about winning the championship right now. So right now, the game, I mean, it looks good on paper, but it doesn't mean anything until they possibly win the finals. And Kobe, it's been a 20-year career, great career, legendary career. So it's better to watch that game when you know it's the last game, when you don't know if the Warriors will actually win the finals.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to go against history. And you mentioned if Golden State doesn't win it all, then do we remember this season, or is it just those 7 Pats, maybe early 2000s Marlins guys? It's interesting in the scope of the NBA how things have changed. In Kobe Bryant's first championship in 2000, the Golden State Warriors were 17-65. Then they were 21-61. Now they're going to break the all-time record tonight. The Lakers, of course, going for their 17th victory. Note to John Lowe, thank you very much. Moving on, you're all going to get a point just because I'm feeling that good. And you guys didn't really disagree. Hard to disagree with history, guys. There's been talk of culture changes in baseball. Bryce Harper being one, calling out, saying that baseball is a tired, old game and needs new things, new even emojis on bats, bat flips galore, guys. Meanwhile, some of the veterans, we'll say, have been a bit more against the new egos, the flash, the bat flips, the flair of sort of the new baseball, guys. Do you think baseball needs this facelift to make it a bit more exciting, or are you kind of on the older generational side with the legends and kind of against all the flair, the bat flips? Bryce Harper had an actual emoji sticker on his bat, kind of the flair, we'll call it show off. Where do you guys stand on this debate of does baseball need this, or is it kind of that classic sport, America's pastime, that doesn't really need all the attitude? Jordan?
Well, I feel Harper could have went without the sticker on the bat. I feel like the excitement and energy that these players are bringing to baseball helps build it a little bit. You look at the Power 3 sports, you have the NBA, the NFL, and the MLB. And of the three, you guys tell me which one you prefer to watch on a daily basis. MLB baseball, in a sense, is not the most interesting sport, and it's the longest of the three, I would say. So, in a sense, I believe it does add a little bit of entertainment, a little bit of excitement. I just don't want the guys to go too far. You see how the NFL had to implement celebration rules because of touchdown dances and sack celebrations. I'd hate for it to go that far, but I don't see a problem as well. Also, if the guys are just, doing what they do, competing good, playing good, why is it a problem? But
I'll say this. If you're walking through somewhere, let's say a department store, a store anywhere, and you see a baseball game on, there's very few times where you're going to stop and watch an at-bat. Bryce Harper's maybe one of those guys where you'll stop what you're doing and actually turn out to watch. Mark, what do you think? Where do you stand on this?
For me, it's not about the stuff. I mean, it doesn't take away anything from the game, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
What adds to this game is the young generation of players. That's why it's so popular right now, because you look at guys like Bryce Harper, Chris Bryant, Mike Trout, just those guys. Those are the guys who make the game exciting right now. Not necessarily the bat flips. Not
Trevor
all
Story.
Trevor Story. Just guys like that. Those are the ones who make the game exciting. And I just don't think. I mean, I like the bat flips, in my opinion. I mean, no one in every generation doesn't like what the newest generation is doing. It's just how it goes usually. But I just think that right now they don't. I mean, the bat flips. I mean, I think if it's a nice situation, like when Joey Bats hit his home run, like just in a pressure situation, a big situation like that, that's cool. But like if it's a solo home run in the third inning to go up 1-0, don't really need it. But like in a clutch situation, I think it adds something to the game, makes it more exciting.
Yep. Jonathan, You're a pure baseball guy, so I'm interested to see where you stand on this debate.
Maurice, I'm kind of sleepy. I'm kind of tired right now. I'm tired, and I think that's kind of the feel that everybody gets now when they're watching baseball. It's just that slow-paced game. You turn it on, you get on the couch, you fall asleep, you wake up in the ninth inning, oh, team wins. I want to see some excitement. I want to see bat flips. I want to see players express themselves. I mean, football and basketball, you have players doing all sorts of crazy celebrations all the time, and honestly, it looks like a whole lot of fun that I would love to be a part of. And with baseball, you just don't get that. I mean, the population for baseball, the average viewer is like 55 years old. We need to bring that down, get the younger generation involved, and you only do that by adding excitement. You got players like Bryce Harper and even Carlos Gomez, who, don't get me started, for every little thing that he does, it's got to be something over the top and
Carlos
dramatic.
Correa, another flashy
But yeah, exactly.
player.
You need to be able to excite this new generation, not only baseball players, but just Americans in general. And if you don't have that excitement, why watch baseball?
For me, though, the excitement is just the players being good. Like, I don't care if like a guy strikes out and breaks his bat. I want to see him hit a home run, or I don't know. That's my thing. I just want to see the players perform well, not necessarily add all this antics.
Well, I mean, I'd love to see the players perform well. I mean, yes, you want to see every team perform well, or your team perform well. But if you're just going through the motions, it gets
yeah,
stale
but
after a while.
I think the whole going through the motions thing, I think it's all about the game's too long. If that's the problem, not necessarily the antics. I think it's just the game's too long.
The pitch clock maybe coming into effect here in the next couple of years might help that out. Mark, I like what you said about the older generation never likes what the younger does. You look at some of the older players' comments about Steph Curry. Well, defense is different. It's every older generation doesn't like the new. You guys kind of bashed on baseball a little bit. I love the game. I like seeing good players. I'm okay with a little bit of flair, but it's a great game, great sport, and great players make it what it is, guys. So Mark's getting the point. Moving into rapid fire. Up next, you will not want to miss it. Welcome back to College Crossfire. You will certainly be glad you stuck around. It is time for our rapid fire segments. Take a quick look at the Clubhouse Crossfire leaderboard. Mark Skol is a one-shot lead, one stroke over our other two competitors. Guys, points are now doubled. From 1 to 2, I'll just toss out an answer and you guys jump in. Let's go ahead and get into it. CollegeSpun.com this week released their 10 most hated football programs taken by a poll of the average football fan. So the question is, you only get 1 point for this one. If you guys can name the top 10, each one of you will receive 1 point for the program.
Is it football or just college?
It is college football.
Alabama.
LSU.
Okay, we have
Ohio
one.
State.
Hold on.
Florida.
USC.
Alabama's on there for Mark. USC for Jonathan. Ohio State for Jordan. That's what I got.
Florida.
Florida State.
Florida State is on there. No Florida.
Oh,
Texas.
Texas. I'm in for Jordan.
OU.
No OU.
Michigan
USC.
State.
Did we say that already?
There's no Michigan State. He said USC. Yeah.
UCLA.
No UCLA. There is a Michigan. Who said it? Honesty
I did.
prevails.
Notre
Okay.
Dame. Notre Dame.
I said Michigan.
Okay. Notre Dame's on there. We're getting there. We're getting there.
How many is that?
Let me throw out.
You guys are missing 3.
I hate to say it, but Georgia.
Georgia's not on there.
Texas A&M.
No.
Maybe that's just me.
There's an ACC school, a Pac-12 school, and a Big Ten school.
North Carolina.
Think teams that used to be really good. There's one team that's good.
Miami.
There's one.
I thought I said that, but
Tennessee.
Nope. No SEC schools. You're missing one Big Ten school that used to be really
Iowa
good.
State.
Penn State.
There's one. There's
Obviously,
one.
Big 12.
Okay, you're missing one. Think flashy.
Oregon.
Really good. Okay, there we
hate
go.
Oregon.
Okay, there we go.
I should've said that
Jonathan
'cause I hate
cleaning it
them.
up. Okay, Jonathan, you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Jeez.
Woo! So Jonathan's got 8 points. Okay, Mark, you're with 7. Jordan, you're with 5 right now. Guys, moving forward. This week, more Johnny football news, guys. Was caught up with Josh Gordon. Could you make any worse decisions? Was caught up in a hit and run. We had a TMZ sports interview that didn't exactly go so well, guys. His agent, Drew Rosenhaus, today said he either gets rehab or it's over between me and you guys. It's really one of the more sad breakups, if you think about a guy with so much talent that's been able to do so little with it and is throwing a lot of money away in the process. But guys, when you think about the athletes that have kind of thrown it all away or maybe missed out the most on opportunities in their careers, who comes to mind?
Ryan Leaf.
It's a good one.
The biggest one.
Jamarcus Russell.
It's a good one. Ooh, wow.
Yeah.
That's huge.
I'll say
Yeah.
That's huge. I would argue that he wasn't as good as everybody thought, but
True. But
But
at the
it-
same time,
good
you have to
point.
work for it.
That's
and
true.
He didn't put it in.
I'll say Vince Young because with especially being playing and showing his talent and then just losing everything.
I don't think the coaches were on his side though in Tennessee. It sounded
He
like
didn't do
Watching
anything
all
to
the-
help himself
From
though.
watching all the documentaries, the owner wanted Vince Young, but the coaches,
Yeah.
they wanted Matt Leinart.
Right.
And
He
they,
didn't do anything to help himself though.
I mean, rookie of the year,
Especially, I
to
mean-
come back win against the Texans, that was
okay,
that
so he gets cut by the Titans, but he doesn't do anything else afterwards.
right. All right, I'm going with Ryan Leaf. I think he absolutely he's the one guy that
He also
threw
compared
it
to
all
Peyton
away.
Manning too.
Threw it all away. Number 2 overall pick. Vince and Jamarcus, I think they might have been just not had the overall talent. I don't know if they threw it as much away as Ryan Leaf did, guys. Final question. This is for the win. When you think about the most unbreakable records in all of sports, the Golden State Warriors are trying to break one tonight, trying to break the Bulls record, trying to for their 73rd victory this season in the National Basketball Association, guys. What is, in your mind, the most unbreakable record in sports?
100 points in the game. Not happening.
It's tough.
I mean, you'd have to shoot an incredible percentage. You have to get to the free throw line, and you've got to be taking all the shots. I mean, Kobe
Okay.
Bryant was the closest that you've gotten to it, and that was only.
You don't think a
81.
guy like Steph in the 3-point age?
I don't think so. I mean, he takes several 3-point shots. I don't think he takes enough right now, and he doesn't get to the line
good one.
enough.
I'd
That's a
have to
good
say Floyd Mayweather's 49-0, just because boxing is such a brutal sport
Wow.
on the body, and for
Boxing,
Floyd to
underrated.
yeah, very underrated. But Floyd stayed clean. He was rarely hurt. Always in good health and always came out on top. 49-0, that's a hard landmark, especially for a sport where you only get
For sure.
3, maybe 4 fights a year.
Wow, Floyd.
Yeah.
That's tough. 49-0. Okay.
I'm going to go with a record that's technically broken, but there's a big asterisk right next to it, and it's Hank Aaron's home run record, just because in the steroid era, that's when everyone was hitting all those home runs. That's why that record got broken by Barry Bonds. That's why people thought Alex Rodriguez would break it. But I don't think anyone who never takes steroids would ever break that record.
Here's the deal. Jonathan's getting the victory. I don't think anybody's scoring 100. I think a guy can actually eventually beat the home run record. Boxing, incredibly impressive, but there's no question. I think someone will eventually get to that, guys. Moving on, we'll talk about records. In the meantime, tons of them out there, guys. A record panel on tonight. Jonathan Polasek takes victory. He'll be coming back. Big thanks to Mark Skol, Jordan Strickland. A special thanks to you for spending your night with us. Special thanks to everyone in studio, Master Control. Until next week, I'm Reese Miller. Have an awesome night.